billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I start off by thanking Allah with Alhamdulillah for giving us this great fortune of being alive to witness this day. Indeed, it's a great day in the annals of not only Gambian literature, but in the annals of every facet of our life as a nation. And so we say, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. And we rejoice that we have here the doyens, the trailblazers of Gambian literature. We thank Honorable Nana Gray Johnson for being here, present with us. Auntie Duka Fatu Jabang, and the national icon, Auntie Grandma Patience Sonko Godly and winning. Thank you for being with us here, and thank you for sharing everything that Allah has endowed you with. Uncle Michael Hamadi Sekar, thank you for always being there with these young people. Our man, who is a treasure trove of Gambian stories, Cornelius Gomez. I salute you, sir. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Director General of Alliance Francaise. Merci, Madame. Que Dieu vous bénisse. Dr. Cherno Omar Bari, Vice Chancellor, International Open University, and really a passionate supporter of Zambian literature. Mr. Musaba, the scribbler. President, Mr. Saul, and Juara, Secretary General of the Young Writers Association. I recognize the presence of the patrons here. I don't know what's it about GRA, but they overwhelmingly represented here from Port Francis, Dr. John the Baptist, and the man we used to call Shakespeare at school. Even the corporate director is here, Mr. Ba. I think we should give GRA a round of applause. I know the Gambia government is in support of this event, and we want to thank the government through His Excellency the President, President Adama Barrow, that we appreciate the endorsement and support that is given to this platform, the Kunta Kinte Book Festival, and the Gambia Prize for Literature Award Ceremony. We do appreciate what you're doing, but like the good old Oliver Twist would do, we're going to ask for more. SOJ, you hear me? Afo Hasumye, I have Hamad Baye, I have Badara Juve, I have Adama Baroye Ko, Safero, and Inna Tariko Ka Sabe, to Babol Gavame literature, is a demaro la pagin, Soratale, Dindingol Soratale, Akumayatale, Nabanko la Tariko ni na Adonari, Tasano, Ninemala ala Mabordulati, Ninala Mancasinoti, to Babol Gavame literature. Ninki Uncle Bijam Menumalo Memu literature. Bidunal tatal sala karanal kumandi ya fasaralie patu kukuma baleng literature lu am solo la ci tubab nak dañ ne binda yunde binda tubab wala fasar wala ñamade a body of written works, those imaginative works of poetry and prose distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the perceived aesthetics, excellence of their execution. Bari literature natural wolem lunyoy binda si ay mbiri books. What is written is derived from what is lived and experienced. So if I am asked to speak about reading Gambian literature, Mr. So, I have decided to correct your topic. I am saying consuming Gambian literature, because Gambian literature cannot be confined to just reading. If we are just going to read Gambian literature, then how do we capture the beauty of our songs, the circumcision songs, the cultural songs, the legends of Nansu Masin, Lat Jor, Mansaki Mintang, how do we capture them? And I think in that is great literature. And that's why I said when I'm starting my speech, I will be asking whether I should do my Wolof Selbembar Nyanna Lenge Toh, or should I do the Mandinka Kintankeba Alheya Tamala Simba Luntangufu? This is literature. Has it been written? No. Whose duty is it to write it? It is you, the young writers. You have here present with you from Anti-Patient Sonko Godwin, Dr. Juka Jabang, Nana Gray Johnson, Michael Hamedi Seka, Yaya Silla. You have trailblazers living with you here. They have cleared the path. Now you must walk the talk. Because as far as I am concerned, we have not even scratched the surface in terms of writing down Gambian literature. It's not an easy task. It is not for everybody, and I must say that to write books, to write novels, to write plays, to write anthologies of poetry, it is not for everybody. Does that mean that nobody should try it? No. But if you must tread that path, you better get ready to burn the midnight oil. But as American philosopher and author Henry David Thoreau would say, he says, books are the treasured wealth of the world and the fit inheritance of generations and nations. He says, their authors are a natural and irresistible aristocracy in every society, and more than kings or emperors, they exert an influence on mankind. If you want to be a writer, if you want to be an author, this is the mantle that you're going to wear. Boy, we are not going to throw it to you like minty banta. So we are going to put on our critical lenses. And Gambia, we know we are in this new age era of you can do anything, ask and ye shall be given. Jesus asked, he was giving Uncle Nana, right? Did he get it at the Bantaba sitting down and chatting? He went into the wilderness for how long? 40 days and 40 nights, perhaps more. We have to work hard if we want to be authors, if we want to wear the mantle of Nana Gray Johnson and Dr. Florence Mahoney and Ibu Diba and Lemri Peters, we have to be ready to be serious, especially with the use of language. Until we get to kingdom come where we'll be writing in our own languages like Musa Abba said, but you better respect that old woman, Queen Elizabeth Mankemucha Kandide. If you want to write the Queen's English, you better read the Queen's English and respect the Queen's grammar. Because just like Adama Barrow's paramilitary would arrest you if you break the rules of grammar, we will arrest you. We are the grammar police here. Now I get really sad when I see people saying language is not important so long as the message goes there. How do you get the message without following the rules? Your grammar is like your technical aspects of building the house. If it is wrong, the house will collapse. So if you want to be a writer, you better get your basic grammar right first. You write a book and the title is wrong grammatically. My friend, that's not a book. That's something else. Safaro kumaya tale wai. Binda bahna wai. Wai suñ ko bat buge def nañ pare pour sona si. Imam bi loolu la wax waji mu ne ko soy defé li da nga pare pour fulal ko te pare nga sona si. You think Nana Gray Johnson sits down overnight and just does a first draft of a book and sends it out there? No. Because he knows this is his legacy. He knows this is going into the heads of generations yet unborn. This is not a joke. So if we want to be writers, if we want to take the mantle of Gambian literature, we have to be serious about our education. We have to be serious about language. And we have to raise the bar. Really, I'm so excited about what's happening, about Gambian writing, young people coming up there, taking that challenge. That is good. We're creating a lot of quantity. Now let's dig down and strengthen it with quality. And we have role models here. We have people who can mentor us here. We have people who can guide us here. So we must take that advantage and we must never ever downplay that. Because you guys who are going into this literature, you are going to be the next patient Sonko Godwins and Nana Gray Johnsons and Lenry Peterses. And those people, they deserve some respect, man. So this laurel must be earned. We have to raise the bar and keep it up high there. Because that's where we met it. Gambian literature is respected. I read Lenry Peters, the second round, African Writers Series, when I was a student at St. Peter's Technical High School. He was no less an author than the Nigerian and Ghanaian authors and other East Africans. He was a star, a well-respected author of international caliber. You want to take his mantle? Get serious with your studies. If it is literature that we are talking about, we must adhere to the universal standards. Your output must be of high creative, imaginative merit. And that's the word, merit. It's not a very common word in this society. We are a people who want to embrace and celebrate mediocrity. Go and do it in politics. We are not accepting it in art and literature. We have to set the standards and maintain it. And it is the responsibility of you people, Mr. Saul.
Yes, sir.
Just like the mantle has been handed down to you by the Chairman Omar Baris. I'm not saying you should come here and ridicule anybody's work, but in those private chambers, in those workshops, let us be critical of each other's works so that we create a standard and maintain it. A national newspaper, getting headline, I'm not saying inside story, headline, getting grammatical blunders. It's a shame. Especially in this digital era, where your local newspaper is somebody's local reading in Manhattan. So we must help each other to try to maintain these standards. If it is Gambian literature that we are talking about, you know, if you want to be a good writer, you know what's my advice? Be a very good and serious reader. That's the key to it. Lord Jangud Doko Tari. What comes out of your mind must be there. At least prepare the mind for inspiration and know the rules of how to capture those golden rays of inspiration coming from high above. As far as I am concerned, despite the great work done by the trailblazers, we are yet to scratch the surface regarding several pertinent themes in what we call Gambian literature. Parent-child relationships. We need to do a little bit more of that, whether it's in poems, novels, or plays. The theme of love, for instance. Patriotism. The theme of parent-child relationships in this era where we have absent fathers. Yes, I emphasize fathers because the mothers are always there. We need to explore all of these themes and explore the issue of conflict in literature because we live in very trying, turbulent times. It is the duty of the writer, the author, the poet to salvage us, to shine that light that will take us out of the wilderness that we are confronting, and that wilderness is getting more and more cumbersome. Peter Hanke says that if a nation loses its storytellers, it loses its childhood. Are our stories written? Have we compiled our stories? I know Cornelius and others have done a lot, but still, we have lots and lots of stories from the Mandinka tradition, from the Manjago tradition. My friend, even Sarakulis, they have stories. They even have female authors now. When will we write these stories, and in which language will we write them? Because as my good wife, Gina Batida Sar says, when you translate some of these stories into the English language, you suffer what she calls lost in translation. Do you know how difficult it is to translate a proverb into English? If you are not careful, you end up insulting the queen. So we have a treasure trove of a bequeathal that we have not harnessed yet. And if the trailblazers have gotten us into this level, the ones I call the Moses generation, the old men and women here, those gone, and I really just want to mention the main, Gabriel Roberts, for the wonderful work he did in the Goosey Gandran myth. And Uncle Nana, these kids will think I'm speaking Greek. There's a lot of work that has been done. So we have a pedestal to stand on so that we can look into the future and chart a new course. If they are the Moses generation, then we are supposed to be what? The Jesus generation that can break bread and walk on the waters of information communication technology by writing stories on tablets for our young people to read in classes in this coronavirus era, by writing stories that can be transformed into movies by their cameras to educate, to inspire, and to heal a nation that's deeply hurt today. And if there is anything that has the power to heal, it is literature. If you don't know that, then you've not read the King James version of the Holy Bible. If you don't know that, then you have not tasted the sweetness of the Quran, where Allah tells us when He's narrating the story of our common prophet, Joseph, that نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن. That is a powerful statement that Allah says is narrating unto us the best of stories. What is the best of stories? It's the trials and tribulations of Prophet Joseph and the wisdom that he used to transform those wounds into wisdom. We have stories in our culture, in our history, that we could present in dramatic and dynamic ways to inspire this hurt, this troubled generation. And it is our responsibility to do it, and we don't have any excuses to bandy around. This is our call as the internet generation, as the Twitter generation, as the Instagram generation. We need to be serious about this mantle that we are about to wear now. The mantle of the kings and queens of Gambian literature. You have all the support that you need here. So I repeat, you cannot give us excuses. And know that in as much as what they are doing there, football is important. In as much as what they are doing in open mic is important, my brother, there is nothing like literature, because open mic gets its inspiration from Gambia Writers Association. So this business of writing is important. If Allah can name a whole chapter in the Quran after the pen, Surah Qalam, Noon, wal Qalam, wa ma yasturun. Allah is swearing by the pen and what the pen inscribes. So those of you who are going to be honored here, and those whose names are going to be used to honor you, the Landry Peterses, the Ibu Dibas, the Nana Gray Johnsons, the Patience of God, you are all in a league of your own. You are the kings and queens and princes and princesses of Gambian literature, and I want to be the first to honor and salute you even before you receive those awards. I want to thank the Gambia Writers Association, through their president, General Bari, for the mentorship and guidance they're giving to these young and bright ones. When I always think about Charnabari, I think of cloning him, because I know what he has been able to do for Gambian literature, and Uncle Nana Gray Johnson is my living witness. But I am not a scientist. I cannot break bread and multiply it. But God is a good scientist. He doesn't need to clone it. Just and he got us Mr. Salt. Charnabari 2.0, the energetic, indefatigable president of the Young Writers. I salute you. I thank you. I commend you and your colleagues for the fantastic job that you are doing for this country, a country that does not honor and respect books and their writers. It's a country that's going to have a very bleak future. One of my Shaykh Hamza Yusuf says that any civilization, every civilization ever on this blessed planet Earth was a civilization built on stories, and those stories were written in books. And that's why, as we honor and thank this Moses generation sitting right in front of here, and we honor them and we thank them, I am cautioning you, the heir apparent, whichever it is, Uncle Nana, to know that the mantle you are about to wear is not an easy one. It's not a cheap one. And so I end, just like I started, with the Mandinka circumcision clarion calls. They said, Ntolu sita kulo kam, kulo farabali kulo, nali sita kulo kam, kulo kana fara. This blessed mat that our uncles and aunties were sitting on there, and they kept it and preserved it, and they beautified it. Please, when you sit on it, make sure it's not torn apart. Thank you so very much for your kind attention, and may Allah bless you all.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we made no mistake identifying a keynote speaker who could take us through this beautiful dream that we intend to definitely achieve as a nation. Once again, let's put our hands together for Honorable Momodou Sabally.